Hey guys, I'm Chad Bell with Farming with the Bells, and I've had several people ask about how to tube feed a sick calf, which is, it doesn't matter how good you've got, how clean a facility you got, you'll eventually have to tube feed a calf if you go through several bottle feeding calves. And what I mean by tube feeding is 9 out of 10 times it's going to be induced by scares. When a calf gets the scares, it dehydrates them because the scares doesn't allow the intestines to absorb all the nutrients. They're just flushing them out. So therefore, what you have to do is keep them hydrated during the scares. So what you will use is a vitamin electrolyte type powder type, and you mix it up and make a solution like what I got here in this tube feeding drench tube bag. Scares can be introduced to a calf by several things: virus, bacteria. Majority of the time people get confused with them being virus or bacteria when it's actually stress induced. And when it's stress induced, therefore all your antibiotics ain't working. So if you keep giving antibiotics, it's not working, they're getting sicker and sicker. It's because the calf, once you got it delivered to you, got highly stressed, and it causes it to get the scares. So therefore the only way to get the calf back is to keep it hydrated for several days, and it'll eventually come back too. Most people also think like this is enough for one day. It's not. You're going to have to give this calf 2 or 3 of these 2-quart bags a day. You want to space them out. You don't want to hold back on your milk either. You want to still feed at least one feeding of milk, or you can alternate like a milk feeding, then drench feeding, then a milk feeding, and then drench feeding at night or something, just to keep them good and hydrated. I've got a Brownie's what we call him. He's a sick calf we got. He comes sick. He comes pretty stressed. We've already been doing this for a few days. He's getting a little better where he can stand on his own. He's still coughing. When it comes to drench feeding, if they will suck and drink on their own, you do not have to do this. Just put electrolytes in a bottle and feed them that way. This is kind of your last resort on feeding these calves. Now, the process is, I see you girl. Process is you've got your trachea and your esophagus. Okay, the trachea is going to be a rigid tube that that the calf breathes out of. Also, some people call it the windpipe. But when you grab this calf and you feel right down here in the center of this calf, you'll feel like a rigid tube that goes all the way down. Okay, that's going to be his windpipes, what we're going to call its easier term. You do not want to insert this in the windpipe. Okay, this is going to go into the esophagus, which is the feeding part that goes to the stomach. That is going to be located, if you're standing next to this calf, let me get him up here to you. If you're standing next to this calf, okay, the esophagus will be on the left side of the windpipe. So you'll be feeling the left side of this calf. Okay, now when you're inserting this, the windpipe, the esophagus, which is going to be what you're wanting this to go in, will be on the left side of the windpipe. So when you're inserting this into the calf, you want to feel it on the left side of the windpipe and make sure you're going in the esophagus, or else you'll drown them by sticking this in their windpipe, flooding their lungs. This big end, you want to use one of these. You don't just want to use a tube and insert it, because this big end is actually protecting. It's rounded and big end. It helps protect going down into the esophagus. It also is big enough that it helps you not to get it in the windpipe. Okay. Now when you see me inserting this, I'm going to go slow at first, and I'm wanting that calf to swallow. And when I'm feeling him swallow, I'm inserting this so I know I'm getting it in the esophagus. So when he's swallowing, I'm going in, then I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it on the left side of its neck. I know it's not in the windpipe. I feel it going down, and I will insert it all the way to about here, and then we'll tip the bag up. Now what you want to do is kink your hose at first. Just hold it like this in your hand. And I usually straddle them because it helps hold the calf too. So like I'll straddle Brownie here, and I'm feeling right here along this windpipe. My hand's going to be right here, and I want to feel this tube go alongside it, not in it. Okay. If he's coughing or having problems breathing, odds are you're in the windpipe. Okay. You'll insert it kind of to the left. I'm letting him swallow it. I'm letting him swallow it. He's doing all the swallowing on his own. And once he swallows it all the way, I'm feeling right here, and I can feel it, and I know it's not. I can feel that rounded end. I can feel it, and I can feel the esophagus, and I know it's not in it. So once I know that, then I tilt this up and let it slowly drain into him. And he should kind of swallow and all that like he's doing, because he feels it going into his stomach. So he's feeling it swallow, and he's drinking it. You don't want to squeeze this and force this all down him real quick. You want it to kind of go slow into his stomach. If it gets stopped up, you kind of just move it up and down just a little. Sometimes it kind of gets stopped up on the inside the esophagus. And that's about all the stomach wants to take. So then when I get it to there, I'll kink this hose again, and then I pull it out. Okay? So we got about, it looks like we didn't get as much, but it's because this bag collapsed. We actually got about 3/4 of this in him. And I can kind of see that he's poofed out, so I know he's full down in there. We fed him his milk feeding about an hour or two ago, so that's one reason why it didn't take this whole jug. But now I know he's full of electrolytes, so I know he ain't going to be dehydrated. And about 2 or 3 hours later, we'll probably come and try to get another half or a whole one of these down him again. And you just keep doing that until they get all their energy and all that back to where they're sucking and eating good on their own, and then you'll have it made. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope this kind of informs you a little bit on how to tube feed. You know, you really got to pay attention, because you can drown a calf by getting in his lungs. So to kind of really read up on it, pay attention. When we edit this, I'll have some posts on there on kind of how much hydration a calf will need in a day, and kind of signs to look for scares, or kind of what can cause it and stuff. We'll kind of post that up on here. But I really appreciate you all watching. Please hit subscribe, so any more informational videos or our regular farm channel video, you'll get a notification, and I'll see you all next time.